Alright, you can see it's all the way around. I kind of messed up this side. I tried to straighten out a mistake, and anyway, like I said, you know, that's why we practice. Alright guys, I've had to give it a little extra blast with my forge blower over here to get the temperature up. Sometimes you have to, while you're on this forge, you have to break down the fire and start over. Now what you want to do is get this right below where the twist is. We're going to make one twist. I use an adjustable wrench, and we go around one. It's a half. Alright, we're going to go back in the fire because it's not hot enough. If you don't get it hot enough, you will break it. It's got to be hot. It needs to be up close to a yellow heat. And it doesn't matter which way you twist it, unless you're doing something like a pineapple where you twist one way and then twist back the other way, and it doesn't matter, you just have to remember to twist opposite of where you twist it. I'm going to let this get hot, and we're going to finish this twist and hope it doesn't break. Okay guys, this is day 2 on this twist. It usually don't take me 2 days to make one, but last night I broke it and didn't have time to start over right there. And unfortunately I lost the footage where it broke. So I'm going to get back to the point where I was at, and then I'll start the video up. So with the miracle of video editing, it will be right now. Okay folks, got my shirt back on, got the big fan turned back off. It's still unbelievably hot for this time of year. I think it was 82 degrees when I come home, and it's October 21st. So we're going to try this twist again this time, and hopefully we won't muck it up. So let's go. Get hold of it, and y'all want to make sure this is hot when you twist it. You want to make it twist hot. You want the heat to be, you want it to be uniform. As a matter of fact, it cooled off a little bit more than I wanted to. It's going back in the fire for a second. We're about 3/4 of the way through the twist. You can probably make it through the whole twist most of the time, but it got a little cold on me because I'm recording. I found that I forged this one out a whole lot faster than the one last night because I wasn't recording. We're going to crank some heat into it. Get it nice and hot and go back in the vise and finish that twist up. See. Alright. Let's see. Let's go ahead, finish that twist again like we did last summer. Alright, here we go. I feel a lot better about that one. I'm going to go back in the fire, readjust the camera, and we'll come back. Alright, I just gave it some more heat. I'm going to use the dog-faced hammer for this. Actually, let's give it a quick brush before we do any forging on it. This spike is a little rougher than the one I had last night. Most of the ones I have left are not very pretty, and I don't have enough heat up here. But we'll start doing a little bit of forging. So I'm going to use a dog-faced hammer. We get right over here, get over the horn. Since it's such a, and what you're trying to do is knock down these ribs that you've created. and make it rounded. You're just trying to round it back out, just like if you were, going sizing down a piece of round stock. You go to square, and then go back to round. I might do a video about that at some point. I'm not real good at resizing round stock, but we might do a video about that one day. I'm gonna let this heat up and I'll come right back. Alright guys, we're gonna come back out of the fire again. We got it back hot. Get in there and get it. Still need to get it hot more up towards the where the blade area is going to be. Like I said, we're just going to round this out. All you're doing is rounding out those points, knocking them down, getting them to get kind of a rounded look to them. You don't want to beat it so much that you lose your definition there. I'm going to go back in and heat it again because we lost our heat. Alright, now make sure you tend your fire. If it gets to where it's cold, get down there and make sure you ain't got a clinker building up, keeping you from having good flow across the coals. Get down there and break that clinker up. Get down there and break that. Make sure you got that airflow coming in. Alright, we're not going to do much more forging here because we're going to start losing our definition. So that looks pretty good. Like I said, it's not got to be perfect. It's supposed to look like an alligator skin, and that's it right there. Let me take and brush it a couple of times. You'll be able to see it better whenever it goes to a black heat. I think you can probably see it a little better now, but that's your alligator skin twist. When I get done, I'm going to put a little bit of a bow, a little bit of a bend in it. So now we're going to get ready and we're going to forge out the, we're going to go in there and we're going to forge out the blade. Get the blade in hot and I'll come right back. Alright, while it's getting hot, I'm going to talk about drawing out some steel. I decided to go away from my dog face hammer because it's better for making the edge of the blade. If you'll see here, this is just a Lowe's hammer, Cobalt. Not sponsored by any stretch of the imagination. I've rounded this face to make a rounding die, and what this does when you hit the steel, it spreads it in all directions at one time. Other side's flat, to get your lumps and bumps out of it. Another way you can draw out your steel is across the horn. You can draw it out across the edge. You can also use a cross peen hammer. And I've dressed this edge up to draw out steel. But I'm going to be using this rounder. That's kind of what I like. This is a 4-pound rounder. It's a little heavy. But, you don't have to hit it as hard. Alright. Oh, and this pair of tongs is a set of tongs from Ken's Custom Iron for making railroad spikes. If you're going to be doing spikes, I highly recommend getting one. So, like I said, we're just going to concentrate on spreading this out. Two things when you're making this blade. You need to concentrate on drawing it out. You want to make it longer, but you also want to make it wider. You want to give your blade some belly to it and some shape. Alright, it's getting cold. We're going back in the fire. Alright, we're back hot again. Got the blade portion back hot again. I'm going to flip over and start working the other side. Need to hit it with a brush. We got a little forge scale build up. You don't want to beat that into your metal. Rounded side. Get all the blade out. You want to make it longer. You want to make it wider. I mean, you may just want a skinny blade. That's up to you. If you're the knife maker, make the knife the way you want to make it. Keep in mind what your blade shape is like. Come back and tend to the shape on the other side a little bit. Needs a little bit of a brush. We'll come back and we'll get the point, and then I'll draw it out some more. Alright, now when you're working your point in, you want to work it down. Opposite of what you think it ought to be. You want the point to go down. You need to keep an eye too, not to create a fish mouth there at the tip. And I let go of it. Do not grab that with your bare hands because it's hot. Alright, like I said, we're going to put that back in the fire because you want to work your edge, your blade down. Opposite of what you think. Because when you come in and you hammer the bevel in, what's going to happen, you're going to hammer the bevel in this side and it's going to make the tip go back around like that. Anyway, let me get it hot. Alright, we'll hit it with a brush. Knock a little bit of that slag, that forged scale off of it. And all that is where the oxygen is combining with the steel and creating an oxidation. You don't want that in your forging. And I'm letting it get cold. So let me put it back in the fire. Working on the tip a little more here. Like I said, watch that fish mouth. If you get a little fish mouth, you can always grind it out. But you want to keep an eye on that fish mouth. We're going to draw it out, drop still a little more, make it bigger, give it a little more belly. And you can take and hit it and pull to you at the same time, and that'll help you get more belly in there. Alright, going back in the fire because it's getting cold.